So I've set up 3 files for you. Medium air-fuel ratio, start out with that one. If it's running rich, shift down, load up the low. If it's lean, jump up to this one, and it will increase the fuel. When you're reading air-fuel ratio, we're shooting for 14.2 to 14.7 idling and cruising. For example, if we are 10, 11, 12, 13 idling and fully warmed up, we're too rich. We need to try a leaner fuel map. If we're something like, for example, 17 AFR, once we're fully warmed up, we're too lean, and we need to try the richer fuel map. Another thing I want to know is when you connect to the car, it's going to prompt a number up here. I want you to catch a photo of that number and let me know what it is. That way I know that we are using the right address file and starting with the right base file for your tune. When you're loading a file that I provided, you'll connect, you'll hit upload. If we've built off the correct original file, which was 26F0H, then the file should upload properly. If we're not using the right base file, you're probably going to be prompted with questions, and we need to start over. So we want to connect. I want to know what file, what part number shows up right here, right in this area under these icons. Once you make a connection, it will prompt with a number. Let me know what that number is. To load up a file, I'm going to send you files. You'll drop it into slot 1, connect to the car, key on, engine doesn't have to be running, connect, upload the file, hit the up arrow, and before you crank a car, you have to hit burn so that it sets the tune into the nistune board. When you crank a car, voltage drops and the connection is lost, and the tune that was uploaded doesn't always stick. So before cranking, you need to upload it and burn it. That sets the tune file provided here permanently onto the nistune board. See which one cranks better out of the 3 that I provide. Let me know which one seems to run the car better. What I've basically done is set you up with the injectors. I've adjusted your injector latency. The larger the injector, the latency always goes up and up and up. The factory was around 750. We're going to try, because your injectors are quite a bit bigger than the original, we're going to try over here around 920. When bigger injectors are installed, we have to lower the minimal pulse width allowed, which is this setting right here. So we're going to allow the injectors, because they're larger injectors, we need to pulse them at a shorter time rate. So we're going to lower the minimal allowable pulse width very low so that we can allow the injectors to run pretty short times. If the car is still having a hard start, I need to pull a plug out. Tell me if the plug is covered in fuel. You guys noted a hard start, so I suggest you check your plug and make sure it's not already covered in fuel. Because if it's already covered in fuel before I send you this tune, your cylinders are flooded and you'll have to deflood them and start over. You have to pull the spark plugs, deflood it, crank it with the spark plugs out, and your fuel pump disconnected. You might have to put oil in the spark plugs to reestablish compression.